It's time now to know what's on the front pages of Nigerian newspapers, and public affairs commentator Oladeyinde Ario, as well as broadcast journalist Funke Treasure, is here with me in the studio. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast. Let's begin now with the Daily Trust. Insecurity. Nigeria on the brink. Defense Minister will kill all non-state actors, CDS. Quit if you can't tackle insecurity at Feni Ferry. Stop scaring us. Provide solutions. ACF tells federal government situation sign of weak governance. Northern elders. That story on the front page of the Daily Trust. To the Punch newspaper now. Anti-open grazing killer gang. Arrest hit squad now. Can ACF tell police security agencies silent? It's disappointing FUNA members have not been arrested, says Can. Arrest those claiming responsibility for assassination attempt on Ortom ACF. We don't know a militant group, MACBAN. Governors are worried, says Ganduje. To the Nation newspaper now, Akeredolu to Igboho, other separatists steer clear of Ondo. Governor wants trespassers in forest. North elders caution cessation promoters. Find the stories on the front page of the Nation newspaper. To the Daily Sun now, Defense Minister raises the alarm over terror attacks, says Nigeria in dire situation. Will have peace again, Chief of Defense Staff. To the Nigerian News Direct, $1.5 billion refinery contract. We are doing rehabilitation, not turnaround maintenance, NNPC. That story on the front page of the News Direct. Nigerians pay more for insecurity as economic impact hits 50 trillion. That's that story on the front page of The Guardian now. Spend 6 trillion naira on security in 10 years with no headway. 5.1 million Nigerians at high risk of critical food insecurity, Relief Web. Reason capital importation dries up. Access to local raw materials, major challenge, says Yusuf. You find that story on the front page of The Guardian. To the Vanguard now. Insecurity in Nigeria in critical situation. Defense Minister. Man, son, nephew shot dead by gunmen in Edo. We rescue 2 victims kidnapped by herdsmen, council boss. MACBAN disowns attack on Governor Ortom. Track bring perpetrators to book. Reps Minority Caucus. Unmask Ortom's attackers. Akeredolu. Governors worried about attack on Ortom. Ganduje. Don't politicize attempt on my life. Ortom. Anarchy looms. Can. You find the stories on the front page of the Vanguard. To this day newspaper now. NNPC pushes back, says new refinery will cost federal government about $12 billion. Kyari defends decision to habilitate Port Harcourt facility. You find that story on the front page of the Tuesday newspaper. All right, we'll be looking at a recent development or reaction. A statement rather made by a former military head of state in person of Yakubu Gowon, where he said that rotational presidency is what Nigeria needs at this time, that it is key to peace, tranquility, and development. Let me start with you, Oladeyinde Ario. I wonder what you make of the statement by Yakubu Gowon. Is there something Nigeria needs at this time, especially when you're talking about peace, tranquility, and development, knowing what we are facing at this time?
Right. Given the facts that we have never been so disunited and disjointed the way we are now, I will vote for what he said. But the truth remains that it's a reflection of the fact that we have not grown politically. Yeah, because in America, it was possible for Bush, the father, to be president, and shortly after him, the son became the president. Again, when Clinton ruled America, the wife was good enough to have been nominated by the party to contest presidency. So that shows that they are mature politically. When you look at rotational presidency, yeah, because of our situation, it's desirable. but it takes away merit. And in my over 60 years of stay here, I've always seen unprepared presidential materials. Shagari was gunning for the Senate. They rolled him into presidency, became our president. And you can count on so many like that. So beyond getting good governance, which so far we cannot beat our chest and say we have enjoyed, I would have preferred merit is, place the card and not where you come from. But because the way we are, that is the only way out. Because before you know now, they will say, Buhari from
we'll come back to this issue of merit and deep. But let's get Funke's reaction.
I'm going to say two things. First of all, it's the fact that we even have ideologies behind the two major political parties that we have. Because one, you see a lot of cross-carpeting. Yesterday we watched Dimeji Bankole and the former governor of Ogun State moving on to APC. So you see, there is no discipline with our politicians. They move from here to here. You don't know the difference between the two major political parties that we have on one hand. So then the second one is we have a nation of almost 500 different ethnic groups. By now, after 60 years of nationhood being together, one would have expected that the political big people, for want of the right word I'm looking for now, would have fashioned a way to move the presidency from here to here to here, such that people don't feel excluded from governance. Marginalized. That's the very popular word that we use. By now, you would expect that power is not only rotating from the north to the west to the south, but that even the minority groups have a shot at governance. That is what a true rotational presidency should be. But what do we have? We have power concentrated in a particular ethnic group, and they feel that they have the
absolute right.
Yeah, to it. They feel it's their birthright. And so there is this continual agitation from the rest of the country and the rest of the ethnic groups that, look, there is, Yoruba people say, there is no way that the Inoki has one head.
No, say it in Yoruba, it will be easier for you. It's not right. So you see that there's continual agitation because some people feel excluded. Why don't we have an Yoruba president by now? Why don't we have someone from Benue State by now? It's not just let's do. The president is going to be from here, the vice president from here, and then the Senate president, and then the House of Rep leader. We should have gone beyond that. He mentioned merit, those having the quality to deliver on the dividends of democracy. And what Nigerians are after is
Veronica, what
governance.
Nigeria does not lack is human resources, quality human capital. This country has it. So we shouldn't be looking for people. We have enough people. Can't you see? In the US, in less than 3 months, we have how many Nigerians in governance over there?
They are in the US.
In the US, which tells you that we are not short of quality people. We just have a very defective, myopic way of picking our leaders where it matters most. And we, the people, are so selfish that we've gone beyond we don't even understand our office as citizens. So we look for the crumbs all the time, and we continue to perpetuate corruption with our politicians. Why? Because we're not demanding good governance. We're looking for crumbs. They come home and we're asking, my pikin not go school. Money. So you don't care where they're getting their money from. You just want a piece of this elusive national cake that has become a tragedy now.
Right. I want to react to
I want to react to what? Two things. Number one, we do not have political parties in Nigeria yet. What we have are vote catching and power chasing machines. Vote catching and power chasing machines. That's why it is easy for people to go from APC to PDP, AMPP, APP, and then come back to
cross-carpeting.
No, but I like your submission that there are no ideologies. Okay? Now, tell me, the majority of the people today sitting in power position in APC were at one time or the other in either PDP or other political parties. And that's why when people say APC is not performing, it's not about the party now, but the same characters that messed up
just moving
are
up
back
and down.
in power, either directly or through nominations and all of that. That's one. Number two, I will not support blaming the masses. The system has been so bedeviled and criminalized, whereby the
have no
people
choice.
they've been impoverished. And let me tell you, poverty is a weapon used by the haves to suppress the have-nots.
I like
To
what
that,
was done.
Yes, to that extent, they are powerless, they are disillusioned. Okay, so when it comes to that, I mean, instead of losing their lives or whatever, they go for the crumbs. Nobody loves the crumb, if you must understand that. We all want to eat the real deal at the table. Again, the way we are, we should have been demanding for the irreducible minimum. But where is the platform?
Should have.
It's just like people ask me every day, you are on TV, you are on radio, you are just talking, and nobody is listening. I said, look, we cannot keep quiet. You know, because we could locate all of these challenges, and then if we don't mention them, maybe one day somebody somewhere will listen. Let me give you a good example. Right now, we have about 4 million vaccines. It's over 3 weeks now since the thing commenced. Less than 200,000 people have been vaccinated.
Yeah.
You must ask me why. There is massive vaccine resistance. Okay? The people and the hesitancy as well.
Presidency, yes.
Now, we had called for public enlightenment, mass orientation, but there is nothing like that. And then, I mean, so you ask yourself, and that is
But
how.
I spoke with someone not too
It's
long
the
ago
same
who
thing.
says the message is everywhere.
Yeah, it's the
I'm
same.
going to bring you
it's the
back
same-
to this
it's the same way.
governance issue.
It's
I'm
the
not
same
going
way
to
that
tackle.
people wait now. It's the same way that people are largely uninformed, largely unenlightened, largely uneducated on the way to go about growing politically. We have not grown. We are still at the infancy level. Okay? Because if we had grown, it wouldn't have mattered whether it's Funke or Vero. We want quality governance. So merit will be the. You had me campaigning that if I have my way in 2023, I will ask Okonjo-Iweala to come back home and contest. I said it. I don't see her as an Igbo woman. You had me saying that I admire her and cry the way she ties her girl, all of that. I don't. When I look at her, so if we can grow that mindset
Of seeing each other as Nigerians, and that's where we come from.
not as Yoruba or Igbo or Hausa Fulani, no.
Then this can work.
Those are divisive lines
Right.
that we have sustained over the years. And that's why we are where we are today, with so much, there's too much gap between the governed and the government.
Let me tackle two things that you've said. You've talked about the citizens being impoverished and all of that. No matter what, how impoverished you are, you still should have your dignity. Yes.
Should, in an ideal situation.
In an
No
ideal
matter
situation.
how poor, I don't wish to be that poor, but I will not sell my body. There's a barrier, there's a level that you cannot go lower than for every person.
Absolutely.
Right? So having said that, let me talk about this idea of the citizens being helpless. You are not helpless. You have the power. You lay down your power and give it out. You can take up your power again. I love what they did in I think, is it Enugu or Imo State now, that they said they kicked against the idea of giving pension for life to governors.
It's not innovative. We started here in Lagos.
It might not be innovative to you, but the people are rising and saying no. And that's where it starts. Now you can see today that, well, let's not go on the ethnic divide. These are fault lines that have been been there for a long while and have been fed from generation to generation. I started knowing what Nigeria was dealing with when in literary circles, I saw the new generation on Twitter in sharp divide, whether it was Soyinka they should love or the late Chinua Achebe and all of that. That's when you know that Nigeria was in trouble as far back as when that started happening. Nevertheless, you cannot have in 60 years this number of heads of state or presidents from a particular point in place in Nigeria and then wake up tomorrow and say, no, let's start doing quality. I will not vote anybody because of our Ankara or because of our Agbada. That's tokenism. I will vote the person, hold on, I will vote the person because the person represents the people properly. The person knows what the people want.
Like
we're talking about World Water Day yesterday. Right. How many homes have running water? That's governance we're talking about. So Nigeria does not lack quality people. Nigerians can take up the power to demand for the very best in governance. We can't just be wringing our hands, what are we going to do? We can do something.
When you see the conversation on social media, you understand that a lot of persons are politically
start from
aware.
Where you stopped.
Right.
When you look around, either backwards or to the present day,
right,
governance has gone out of government.
I know.
You must admit that. And that's why since the middle of last year up until now, we are busy talking about cattle, herdsmen, farmers. And of course, kidnapping came in to heighten our insecurity. And it has gone out of hands now.
I mean dimensions.
In fact, a dimension that nobody could ever have imagined. Whether we like it or not, every day, people are running away from Nigeria.
Of course.
Looking for a better life for themselves. My major reason for not thinking about it is age. If I should go elsewhere now, what would I be going to do? To go and be washing dead bodies or be serving tea? Right. I desire that governance is brought back into government so it can be meaningful. The issue of water that you said, I used to live in an estate. We had about 320 apartments or houses, and each apartment has a borehole to supply their water. That, to me, is a critical disaster waiting to happen. Perhaps I would have been dead before that would happen, but one day it will happen. So we have to, the system, like I told you, it was criminalized. And that's why they say politics is dirty. Politics is not dirty. But the way they run it in this place makes it look so
bottom line for us to establish the point here now is that, are you saying that perhaps a rotational presidency is the way to go or not the way to go, bottom line? And should it be enshrined in the Constitution? Because some are saying that the way if we have to adopt this, then have we can do
our history.
Yes.
Both during the previous regimes, including military. If we do not do rotational presidency, there will be crisis. Okay? But like I told you, each time we go into this, we discount merit. We are never lacking in terms of quality.
In human resources,
exactly.
Like she has pointed.
But they've been so fenced off. They've been so fenced off.
Our system has made it so.
I tried to contest as a councillor in Abeokuta, where I come from. And they look at me. The first day they came to meet my mom, they said they were hungry. You know, the old woman didn't see anything wrong. Okay, they are my children. She fed them, gave them soft drinks. By the time I came, they were asking for beer, and I said, hey, from where will I get the money? The next meeting we had, they gave me a list of money that I should give to people at the ward, at this place, that place. And I said, why? I'm coming to bring growth and development, service. So why would I not be parting with my money? If I part with my money now, I'm going to be recovering my investment.
Two things.
So these are the issues you see. Look, if you join any party today, and choose to contest, they look at you, depending on who brings you in. They will shut you down, and then you don't go nowhere. You are frustrated. That's why I'm saying it is the system. And we have to begin to work at that. There is nothing wrong with Vero ruling Nigeria for 100 years, so long as she's giving us value.
Right, two things I quickly want to drop in before we go is that the people and the media have roles to play.
Absolutely.
The people should then begin to look within the communities, because governance is for the people, by the people. So who are the people you, as communities of people, are throwing up for governance? Media, it is our duty to begin to look for these quality people who might not want to get dirtied in the political mud, to say these are the people, in case you don't know, this is the son of the soil, daughter of the soil. The more we know the capable people in our societies, the better for us. It looks idealistic, but it is not.
It's not like we don't know them. It's not like we don't know them.
I mean, again, because there's godfatherism in Nigerian politics. But you see, you can be the godfather of somebody who has ability to govern. It makes it easy for you. But when you have, which is why we're here, where we are now, we have people.
So it means we are not learning lessons.
We are not.
No,
so we have
not learned any lesson.
Who don't understand what it means to lead. And so you have governors running helter-skelter, talking carelessly, everyone's talking, and it's just so messy.
Okay, let me tell you. You define democracy.
Right.
And I will tell you that is the worst lie you can believe, that democracy is not of the people, for the people, by the people.
Yeah,
because
I know. That's another line of argument.
The party will just bring whoever has found favor within the system. Okay?
Yeah.
The man that contested in my place didn't go beyond primary 6. And here was I, with massive credentials, MBA, MSc, and they put me aside. Why? Because I was in favor. No, listen now. The party has to bring you out first. When we campaigned for independent candidacy, they didn't like it.
Right.
Maybe if I had been able to come out on my own without relying on any party machinery, perhaps I could have done wonders. But the way it is, there are people who still sit in the comfort of their homes, home and abroad, determining who becomes what, where. Now, a lot of people vote for people they don't know.
We, the people, are not ready.
You vote for people that you don't know. Unfortunately,
we're not ready yet.
Because unfortunately, I don't vote. See, you know why I don't vote? Ready. Usually on the election day, I'm on
so you think you're not part of our problem?
No, wait. Let me tell you. No, on election day, I'm either on TV or radio analyzing the election.
We'll leave it here.
So that's why I don't vote.
You are obviously part of our problem.
It's not like I don't want to vote.
You are part of our problem.
I would have been locked up in the studio somewhere.
There is no would have been, could have been.
All right, thank you so much. Public affairs commentator Olade Ario and broadcast journalist Funke Treasure. Thank you so much for your time on the program.